A few disclaimers before we start. This is a fast-moving situation. I'm aware that news or information that isn't in this video may come out in the space between me filming this and you seeing it, and that information may contradict or add to what I'm saying. If I get something wrong or I'm inaccurate, please accept my apologies in advance and I'll make sure to correct it in the comments. Secondly, I'm not saying anything in this video will or won't happen because no one really knows. I'm just outlining what is in the realms of possibility as we begin to process this news. It's also important to remember this affects people's real lives, their families, and their jobs, and we should try and be respectful of that. So, first, a brief overview of what's actually happened. News broke on Monday morning that Manchester City were facing up to 100 charges from the Premier League, accusing them of breaking the financial fair play rules from 2009 up to 2018. A period where they won the league 3 times. According to The Athletic, City are accused by the Premier League of not providing accurate financial information, in particular with respect to its revenue, including sponsorship revenue, its related parties, and its operating costs. Also included is allegedly not fully disclosing managerial remuneration for a 4-year period when Roberto Mancini was in charge. UEFA have already investigated City on similar allegations over a 5-year period, and they were initially banned from UEFA competitions for 2 seasons. They had a hearing at the Court of Arbitration for Sport, and that ban was overturned as a lot of the allegations were historic, meaning they were time barred and in essence no longer chargeable, so they were only fined €10 million. Premier League rules do not include a time bar. So what does that all mean practically? Well, there's all sorts of possible ramifications, including fines, stripping of titles, points deductions, and more. A former financial advisor to Man City, a Man City fan, a former banker, current lawyer, and general counsel to a Premier League club dealing with allegations of historic accounting issues, tweeted this earlier. This has all sorts of ramifications for the wider league, but the ones that relate to Arsenal are more interesting from a fan perspective. And please remember, a lot of this is conjecture. Firstly, if Man City are stripped of their 11-12, 13-14, and 17-18 Premier League titles, or deducted points in those seasons or others, this could have a huge impact. All Premier League clubs could possibly sue for loss of earnings in terms of final league placement, for not only the title-winning seasons, but from all of the seasons in the mentioned time period, including, for Arsenal, missing out on the Champions League by 1 place in 2016-17. Unfortunately, Arsenal wouldn't get any Premier League medals, but it would mean a potential huge cash influx. Secondly, it could irrevocably damage the relationship between Pep Guardiola and the Man City board if he's been misled. Speaking in May last year, Pep said, "When they're accused of something, I ask them, tell me about that. They explain and I believe them. I said to them, if you lie to me, the day after, I am not here. I will be out and I will not be your friend anymore. I put my faith in you because I believe you 100% from day one, and I defend the club because of that." If Guardiola isn't aware of what's really been happening historically, and he goes, considering the relationship that Mikel Arteta has with a number of Man City's players, there would be a huge market opportunity for Arsenal to sign Manchester City's players. You can imagine how well those players might do at Arsenal stylistically, and how Arsenal might be a stable, good fit for a lot of them. There's also a possibility of looking at City's stable of world-class academy talent too. And if relegation was on the cards, then Arsenal and others benefit from having one less competitor in the league, even if they might be back within a season. City feel like the only team that can match Arsenal in terms of our style of play and controlling the football. It will be a great relief to see them gone. However, a historic points reduction is unlikely, according to Kaveh Solhekol of Sky Sports, even if they're stripped of titles. Any points reduction is likely to be in the current season, but the bad news for Arsenal's title race this season is that it's very unlikely to be in our current campaign. This does mean, though, that the season might have just got easier for another reason. If City have an uncertain future, it only further destabilises them on and off the pitch, which may work in Arsenal's favour psychologically. Because to deal with the fallout of all this, the conclusion could be years away. This will be investigated behind closed doors and will be done very slowly to ensure a proper procedure. It's taken 5 years to even get to this point. However, City can't appeal to CAS this time. And if you're wondering if this affects Mikel from his time at City, no, it doesn't. Mikel joined in 2016 and wasn't involved on the financial side at City. So, potential money, potential new talent, and one potential less competitor. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching The Different Knock. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please consider supporting us on Patreon monthly or head to buymeacoffee.com for one-time support. You can find me at AMOnFootball on Twitter, and we're at DiffKnock on all social media. Also, check out our podcast. All the links are in the video description. Thanks.